answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Colonel Jessup, did you order the Code Red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Queens and kings, kings and queens. What's good? Oh my goodness, what a week, what a week, what a week, what a week. Oh my goodness. Listen, I just want a couple of opinions though on this Ray J fight. Did you guys see this? I think that was hilarious. I think that was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. I did get a couple of pictures up, but I only took a couple of pictures with it, and it wasn't pictures that I had got. Was looking at them, and you know, oh, this is great. Like, I mean, this is absolutely great. To see this like this. I want your opinion. Do you think that when Ray J said at the end, because you remember he said at the end, he said that they're both screwed and like it was a fixed fight. I just I can't get with that because number one, if it was fixed, right? When they were, doing when the other guy wasn't throwing any punches or whatever, and Ray J was doing his stuff up like that. I feel like if it was fixed, once the kid hit him with one of those shots, number one, he should have been like first of all blocked it, but second of all, if he got hit with that shot, your instinct is to shoot back. That's your instinct to shoot back. And obviously, obviously, he caught a couple more. So for him to say that the fight was fixed, this is what he got for not, covering up or at least, doing something after that first shot, when he found out that it wouldn't have been going according to plan. So, I'm laughing because to me it's comical. It's comical. first Ray J, I don't know if everybody remembers, but there was a part where they said he didn't have but 2 more weeks to live and all of this. So my thing is this: if he had only had 2 more weeks to live, what would he have been jumping in the ring for in the first place? Money or no money? And so to see him get in the ring and get knocked out is hilarious to me. It's hilarious. So I want to, during the day or during the whatever this the course of this video, I would love to hear your comments, and I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Matter of fact, let me roll over here. Okay, so number one, first love goes to Riri, my moderator. She, like I said, first love goes to her. DJ Biggs is in the building. China Black is in the building. Biet's Network is in the building. Let me see where all the rest of my people are. China Black definitely in the building. Princess is in the building. Gary's Garage is in the building. Okay, so yes, we're here. We're here. We're here. I was gonna wait and see if more people come in, but I can't wait. The last yesterday and the day before yesterday, I believe it was. I had a lot of shows. I had a show Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. And during my show, I try my best to be still go on and stay with my people and my family and everything on the internet. And so I went on Scoreboard Keepers. They're live. They had a summit. And I'm gonna tell you guys, y'all my family, and I'm gonna tell you guys, that guy, that channel are geniuses. They're pure geniuses. Like even they had me. Like I was even like trying to get on and everything, and they were holding me back from getting on and everything. I didn't see the play. Like, and I'm DJ Faze. I see all plays, but these geniuses, man, they had a plan from Jump Street, and these people, they fell for it, and I fell for it. The bait, it was like a fish seeing the worm on the hook and taking it, and I was when I saw the play after, because I had to see the play after the fact. And when I saw the play and I saw how it went on, man, all I could say is genius, like pure genius. So that's why I named this. Is it has the coffin been nailed shut on hip hop? Because all of those trolls, all of those, I guess I gotta call them liars. All of those trying to steal from us our creation. All of those basically have absolutely nothing to say now. Like all the Columbuses and all of the Rios and all of the Valleys and all of that, they have absolutely nothing to say now. Now, the whole time I was sitting there on fire. One of the things that I was on fire was is that somebody called Mario a disco DJ. And the thing with me is okay. We have Princess in the chat, so if y'all don't know who Princess is, that's Mario's daughter, Mina, and so they were going on, and saying about this and about that, but these guys cornered it like they cornered it, and they when they were telling me, Face, just hold on, Face, I'm screaming, I'm like, oh my God, this, that, and I can't let this happen, this, so I'm sitting, they got me backstage, and I couldn't get in. And then I saw the play, because once you say something out of your mouth, once you say it, you can't retract it. You might could delete the comment from what you wrote, but you can't go back and say what you said. You take back what you said. And so that's why the channel, Scoreboard Keepers, was telling me to just let them talk so we can have it. Oh my God, they're geniuses. They're just geniuses. So that's what happened. And I'm just like, I just really want to let them know that, I truly, truly am grateful for that channel. And I'm truly, I'm going to continue to bring the evidence, and I'm going to continue to bring, the truth, the truth. So I want to start this episode with, let's clarifying a couple of things, because there's a couple of things we're going to clarify today. We're going to clarify the word hip hop. We're going to clarify culture. We're going to clarify the timing. We're going to clarify where. So those are some of the things we're going to clarify today on this channel. Um, Let me see something. Hold on. Well, first, also, I want to look at the comments about Ray J's fight. Oh, rest in peace. Oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Yes. Oh my goodness, that was a rough one. That was a real rough one. Raw Bass, definitely a friend of mine, and I can call him a friend because he was a friend. And I just, I don't want none of the rumors to get back to his family or anything. So I just wish people that don't know, don't assume that this might have happened. Don't do that. Just let the man rest in peace now. We don't know his struggle. We don't know his suffering. We don't know any of that. All we know is what is shown on the to the public. So we don't know anything about this man's inside, family structure. So please rest in peace, Rob Bass. Rest in peace. Definitely love, Lord. Love is gone. We'll never stop loving Rob Bass. Never. Okay. Um. Okay. Yes. May the Creator be pleased with my brother Rob Bass. Yes. Most definitely. Most definitely. So also, okay, and I gotta say this also, I have to say that, so people, when these trolls come in and they say whatever they say, you know, screenshot it. Screenshot it for me. Screenshot it for me. And because we got them. We got them. They'll say something, find out that it's wrong or whatever, and then they'll delete it. So let's start tightening up on them. You know, we're not gonna block them. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna let them get ahead and do what they do. Troll history. Okay. There go JG. JG, what's good? What's good? Uh, Let me see. Peace to the room, just dropping by to show you and the live some love. Okay, that's Bronx Network. Okay, there's JG. What's good? Okay, so they're here. They are here. Scoreboard keepers are here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. This is something that I gotta do for the scoreboard keepers. All right, they are here in the building. They're in the building, okay? So,
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
that's the scoreboard keepers. Scoreboard keepers. So, like I said, this whole thing, hip hop thing. Let's figure out now what the difference is between, I guess, when it was named hip hop again, when it was officially named hip hop, and what does hip hop actually mean. Okay, and I'm telling this from my knowledge, from what I know. This is not something hearsay or something. This everything that I say, I tell you from my point of view and from what I experienced. So let's just start off with that. Okay. Also, I want to say this too. I wonder if Mighty Hebrew's around. Somebody please let Mighty Hebrew scoreboard. Let Mighty Hebrew know that I'm live. Malik Bay's there. What's good, Malik? Um, let's Mighty Hebrew know that I'm on because I want him to hear this as well. Okay, so first thing that I want to start off with is I don't know about anybody else. When I say that, meaning that I can't talk for anybody else. I can't. I really can't. I'll let them talk for themselves. That's number one. So I'm right now on this session. I think I'm gonna go from 1970 to 1973. Okay, I'm going to start with that. So on the show, and I keep on getting mixed up because I like I said, I've been doing so many parties that it's just been crazy. But on the show, one of the Money Boss got on, and he said that the breaks were called breaks like in 75 or something like that. I don't want to quote him, but it was something like that. He said they didn't start calling it breaks until the ultimate breaks beats. And there was also the super disco breaks. And there were a couple of actual break beat compilations. So at that time, at 75, by the time 75 got here, 76 and 77, it was already, and I'm just going to come out and say that's basically second generation. That's second generation because like I know it, this whole thing called hip hop was created in 1970. Okay, it was. Now, of course, I'm not going to give all the jewels of how it started, what was there when it started. I'm not going to do that because a lot of you guys know pre-orders for my book are going to happen next month, so we can start pre-ordering the book. But I'm just going to say it was created in 1970. So in 1970, what I would like for people to understand is this: when this thing started, it didn't start with how can I say traditional songs. That's the best way I could put it. It didn't start with traditional methods of playing music. It did not. Even the the lyrical part of it, aspect of it, and the I guess the style in which the verbal method came with this peculiar music was placed. So you guys say, "Hey, Faze, well, what was different about the music?" Well, one thing about the music that was different than anything that ever had been done was that it was all instrumental and it was all based on just one instrument. Okay? So the earlier records that were played, not until I guess I say the mid part of it, that sometimes other instruments were played. So first thing people going to say to me is, "Well, what about James Brown? What about James Brown? What about James Brown?" And that's it. That's one of the things that created what we were doing. See, this is the problem that people don't understand. When James Brown released his records, when James Brown put out his records, he did put it in song format. Some of them. Some of them were in song format. But a lot of them were not in song format at all. And what do I mean by song format? Okay, so usually, they have, a couple of measures, and then they have the complex of it, and so it usually goes in that method, the hook, so it usually goes that way. But James Brown, a lot of times, already had a concept that could be changed. Like he could change the format. Like in other words, like if he heard something, that was in the pocket. A lot of you musicians know what in the pocket is. If James heard something in the pocket, he would keep that. He would keep that. No matter how the song was going, he would just keep that groove. And then he would come up with something off his head to start talking and to go with this groove. And that's something, if you listen to early James Brown releases, you'll notice that sometimes he'll have on the album one way, and then the 45 will be released a different way. And that's why he had different versions of the same record. And if you know James Brown, you know that sometimes he had a part one, part two on one record, a part three, part four on another record. And so that particular, um, I guess you say, regimen of style uh, changed. It changed. So the same thing with us. So when we first, and I always say we because I never want to anybody to get the impression that it was just one person. It was not. It was not. There was a group of us, and well, there was really eight or nine of us. It. We did have seven at a time, but you have to include at least two more people. So I'd say nine people are the creators of what is called hip hop now. So back to what I was saying with James and us. So when we were first creating it, we were creating it just for the drum beat. That's it. So we would play James Brown, but just the drum part of it. And so I'm not going to give too much away. I'm not going to give too much away, but just imagine just hearing the drum set and someone talking over the drum set. Okay? So just imagine that system. And to complement what that was, the drum set and the actual talking over it, the dance was incorporated. The dance was. So this is why it infuriates me to see what they are calling breakdancing, because it's not in the creation of it, right? If you stop the record in the middle of someone dancing to it, the dancer would have to stop. And that's a major concept. Like, if you stop that break in the middle, like boom, just stop it, then the break dancer, would have to stop dancing. Okay. And so that's why in the creation, if the record skipped, the dancer would have to play something off, do something, a move, play baseball or something, shoot dice or something to catch back onto the beat. And that's major. That little bit of information right there is major, because these break dancers, they're so-called break dancers, and I'm talking about these dancers that came in 75 and 76 and so on. These break dancers can't relate to that, because they're so far into making the moves that they've came up with or whatever, that they're not taking those moves to exactly to that beat. And that's just like a MC now, or even a song singer, someone who sings a song. If they make a song, right, and they make it to a specific timing or a specific rhythm, then if they take that same song and put it on something else, then it's going to be a little bit different. So that's why the true breakdancers, when they heard, these specific breaks, they already had coordinated their dance to the timing of that break. Okay? So that's a big show of who was really doing what at the time. Now, a lot of people ask me, they say, well, Phase, could someone have been doing this somewhere else other than Bronxdale? And I say to them, well, basically, if this were true that people were doing it, then wherever they were doing it at would the same way like with Bronxdale would be able to say, okay, let's go here and do this. Let's go here and do this. And so in 1970 and 1971, I have yet to even hear anyone talk about what we were doing. You see, so even today, and that's why I thank God for scoreboard keepers because they actually, um, can show and they let people say the things that were out there so that they have nothing that they can't change back to. So, one of the things that I can definitely explain and know is that the black spades, there was no at the time that hip hop was created and those times the late 60s and the early 70s, there was no gang that I can remember that could even compare to the Black Spades. There was no gangs, and there were gangs. There were the Savage Nomads, the Savage Skulls, the Golden Guineas, there was a lot of gangs, in the 70s. And one thing about the Black Spades is that what they were doing wasn't the simple gang mentality. It really wasn't. And I thank God that I was there. I was inside of the circle of the Black Spades. When the Black Spades, I guess I can say, when the Black Spades, um, I guess I don't want to sound harsh, but when the Black Spades conquered some Spanish gangs, and I say conquered meaning that they were, we were something that was indestructible. We were, fighting wise. There was really none, no gang, no anything that could actually come up against the Spades and win. So the spades were the ones that protected this thing we now call hip hop. They put us in this circle and let anybody in. And that's where the secrecy comes from those years 70 and 71 and 72, 73 as well. So, because of that secrecy, that's why a lot of people they can only start to tell the story after after 74, 75. They can start telling that story. So, what makes what we did a little bit different than what other people did was because everything that we started is still here today. Everything's that are even the from the fashion, from the slang talk, from the music, from the lyrics, from the the dancing, every part of that creation is still here today. Now, somebody asked me in one of the chats, they asked me, they said, well, FaZe, if you was DJing in 1970, when did you stop? They asked me that. They said, when did you stop? And my answer was, well, come to the show. Come to the show. We're doing a show this week. Come to the show. And they actually came. And they said that they could not believe that I was still DJing active. So the point that I'm making is this. God bless, God rest Mario. If Mario was still here today, he would still be doing it. And when I say doing it, meaning getting people to play, getting spaces to play, putting, putting us on the map, period. And so that's why sometimes I get a little bit upset when I see a lot of people downplaying Mario, you know, especially people that just hear about Mario. They just hear. They say, well, somebody's told me this or somebody told me that. So they didn't see with their eyes what was going on. And I tell this story all the time. Um, if a fight breaks out right in front of you and you see it, and you see one of the people punch the guy in the jaw and his hat turned around. I'm just saying, the hat turned around, right? So now that fight is over, and somebody will go and tell somebody what happened, right? But he wouldn't tell the person that when the guy punched the guy and his hat turned around, he didn't tell him that part of the fight. And so now that person goes to tell somebody else it. And then remember, they left out the part with the hat turning around. And so that person will tell somebody else, that person tells somebody else, whatever. And then one of the people will say that, no, this is exactly how the fight happened, whatever. But then somebody was there would say, oh, the guy punched the guy in the jaw and his hat turned around. And then that person will say, because he didn't hear that in the first time, he'll say, no, that didn't happen. That did not happen. That's not how it went. I know how it went. Someone told me exactly how it went. Or even they'll lie and say, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it. That's what happens now. This is something that is a true fact. This is what happens right now. So someone will tell someone something, even something that they might have even been there, but they just missed out a part of it. And so now, because the person that's hearing and receiving this information didn't get that part, claims straight up and down, no, that part didn't happen. When in reality, the guy punched the guy in the jaw and his hat spun around. So that's just some of the facts that are missing in a lot of the stories that were told about Mario. Another thing that I see happens a lot is that, and just like what I said about the break beats and stuff, because these stories go on for so long, the incorrect stories, a lot of times when proving the story outright, people don't want to hear that. Like one of the things that Ref said about scorekeepers is that, and I laughed so hard. Scorekeepers, if you're still here, you know I laughed so hard. Scorekeeper said, that damn, all of this time, I thought salsa was from the Puerto Ricans. And they come to find out that it's not. He said, oh, damn, he did the Florida evidence. He said, damn. And I laughed because the false story, the false rhetoric, or I want to say, has been out there for so long that people are now accustomed to that actual misinformation. And so now we're looked at bad because we're the ones that's breaking the people's heart that told them there's no such thing as Santa Claus. There's no such thing as an Easter bunny. There's no such thing, you know. And so that's what happens, people. That's what happens is like I said, the story has been placed and placed and placed and placed so long that when the truth comes, they're not ready for it. They're not ready for it at all. First class citizen is here. What's good? What's good? What's good? Royalties in the building. DJ Biggs is here. Okay. Now, let me look at something. I wanted to see something. Okay. Um, when I talk about the beats, the records that did this, a lot of people don't realize this, that when we were gathering these records, there was no name that we can actually say was a genre for these records. I just showed Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, uh, you would never, and I'm just being honest, you would never really just look at Scorpio, the record, the album, and say, "Oh, this is a record that we can listen to, we can go to." If you pick up a James Brown record, you pick up Aretha Franklin record, Rufus Thomas record, Isaac Hayes record, any of these records, you would pick it up, and you wouldn't even have to know a song on there, but you would know that this is soul music, and this is something that you would look at. So we would, back then, we would call those records soul records. But some of those soul records, some of those easy listening records, some of those country records, some of those foreign records, some of those rock records, some of those jazz records, some of those blues records, some of those Christian records, gospel records, had breaks on them. They had breaks on them. Even till the day, you can go back to those records and they had the breaks on them. Now, I almost did it. I almost did it. You guys are good. I almost did it. Now, there's a record. There's two gospel records that the break on those records, if people knew, people might have, back then, people might have skipped right over that record and would have never knew that the break was in that record. Would have never knew that. And they would have, unless they knew the song on the record or whatever, they would not even pick up that record, right? And so now, when you're shopping for these type of records, what are you shopping for? What's the name of, what are you looking for when you're looking? Are you looking for soul records? Are you looking for jazz records? Are you looking for country records? Are you looking for, what kind of records are you looking for? This is what was told to me, asked to me. And of course, all I could say was drum solo records. Oh, okay. I have a couple of records that have just a drum solo. Now, what does that mean? A drum solo could be anything. That could be a drum solo. It could be an tiki taki tavi drum. Boom tap boom tap boom tap boom tap boom tap boom. It could be anything. So now we had to break it down a little bit more different. So breaking it down, oh God, okay, let me go to something else. All right, and I'm sorry, guys, for taking you to one place and then moving to another because like I said, I don't wanna give, just like when a movie comes out, you don't want to tell what the movie is about and everything. So that's why I'll leave that one alone. But in reality, what I'm talking about now is the name of what the music that we were looking for. Okay. So now we have the dance, right? And so the dance is related to this music that we're looking for. It's related because without that music, this dance cannot be the dance. It cannot. And so now that's interesting to say, okay, well, what kind of dance were they doing? What was it? What was the style? What was the style? So that related to the music and the lyrics, the dance. Okay. So now, like I said, after coming out of Bronxdale, people are now looking for this music and trying to see if they can dance like the dance that goes with this music. All right. And that makes sense. It makes sense. You know, you know, whew, man, when you guys read the book, you're gonna like, oh wow, that makes sense. But so what I'm trying to say is that the word hip hop evolved into the culture. It did. It evolved to that. And so like I said, they have a couple of videos where it says that Bambaataa named it this but if you really go back and you look at a lot of things, right? And I know people are gonna get mad at me for bringing this up, but I gotta do it. You know me, I gotta do it. That's just like being called black, Negro, colored. They say that one person said African American. They said that one person said that it's not going to be Negro anymore. It's not going to be that anymore. And it's going to be this. And it's going to be that. But the information that you're getting from those words, black, Negro, African American, colored, is based on what? What someone okays and say, yes, this is what we want to be called. This is what we want to be addressed as, right? Now, everybody can fight me on this, but just show me what the difference of what I'm saying, all right? So one person says, okay, I don't want to be called Negro anymore. Okay, I don't want to be called Negro. Okay, I don't want to be called colored anymore. Okay, I don't want to be colored no more. Okay, I don't want to be called African American. Okay, I don't want to be African American. Okay, so each thing that is being displayed or debated, who does it have to go through to get the okay? And that's my point. See, so it has to go. It's like there's a council or something that says, okay, so now we're not going to call them colored. Okay, so now we're not going to call them Negro. Okay, so who is that council that is given the okay? And that's the point. That is actually the point. And I know a lot of times people don't think about it like that, but that's the point. And so now, this is crazy. This is the crazy part about it. So if you see a brown dog walking down the street, a brown dog, right? And you say, oh, look at that black dog. The person that you're saying that to is going to say, yo, you got your glasses on? That's a brown dog. It's a brown dog. Simple. Okay? If you see a white dog going down the street and somebody says, that's a pink dog, somebody's going to say, no, that dog is white. If you saw a pink dog going down the street and somebody says, look at that white dog, they're going to say, where's your glasses? That's a pink dog. So, going back to hip hop, they're basing what this one person says that this is what it is, if this is what they're going to call it, and then that be it. So the council would have been the interviewer that interviewed Bam to say, okay, this is what Bam said, and this is what it is. So I understand the grief about it. I understand the why somebody would say, well, okay, you know, what does this hip hop mean? What does it do? How many answers does this one word have? Oh God. And so I think, and this is so real, what I'm talking about is that the same thing applies to breakdancing, b-boy, burners. It all applies. Because the word b-boy started out totally different and it evolved to different things. So it started out, everybody knows that I know that what I'm saying, people that was there know for true. It started out Bronx Dale, boy. Then, because we were burning and breaking, it became that. And so now you go to Cali or somewhere, and when you say B-boy, they think that it's just anybody, girl, B-boy, that is into hip hop. So that's three different things. Maybe in fact, that's four. Four different things. Yeah. Bronxdale, burning, breaking, and now just, the culture, I guess, of hip hop. So let's examine that. Let's examine that and see where that goes. Some people say that it was Herc that named the dancers b-boys. So there goes the theory that Burning, Breaking, and Bronxdale Boy is out. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I guess different generations, and this is why I talk about the story of it. Different generations hear the different stories as to why this is a certain way. So those people on the West Coast and Japan and China, Australia, Germany, Europe, they don't know nothing about Bronxdale Boy. They don't know nothing about burning. They don't know nothing about breaking. They don't know about that. They know that a B-boy to them stands for hip hop person. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. But back to what I was saying about the council that okays this. So, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. So Herc, right? Cool Herc says so many different things, and I was so glad that scoreboard keepers, was playing some of the stuff that I had already said earlier. But you know, um, who is the counsel for that? Who is the counsel that let and say that right now, we can really attribute the Source magazine for saying the three, which was Grandmaster Flash, Kool Herc, and Bambaataa, because people outside of New York, people outside of the area see this source on the West Coast, or they see this source in Australia, or they see wherever, and it's right there in front of their face. These are the people that created hip hop. These are the people that are responsible for hip hop. Now, we know when Herc came in the game, what he brought to the game. We know when Bam came to the game and what he brought to the game. And we also know when Flash got into the game and what he brought to the game. But you see, the problem is that we don't have a council. We don't have ones to say, okay, we're going to agree with this situation. We're going to agree with this verdict. We're going to agree with this. And we don't have that. We don't have that. And that's just pure fact. We don't have that counsel. So no matter what we do, no matter how we speak it until we're blue in the face, unless there's an acceptable counsel, these false informations are the ones that's going to stand ground. And that's it. So and I got to go back to Mario. So we have some people that say that they were there, and they say that this is how it might happen, right? Okay. So now we go a little bit further and we say, okay, well, if this happened this way and this happened this way, one of them is not right. One of them is something wrong. So the best way I can say how it happened is I seen with my own eyes that Mario played in 70, 71, 72. And in 70, 71, 72, there was no disco. There was soul music. I see that with my own eyes. I know that Mario played James Brown and in those songs had a break. I know that I saw that with my own eyes. I saw a picture and I'm in a picture of us wearing the fashion. I got a picture of me real young with a velour suit on and British walkers. I seen that. I seen that. And so so I can go back to photos and say, well, yeah, yeah, that's Booby. That's Booby playing the drums at a real young age. That's Booby. I could say that. I can actually go and look at this picture and know that that's Bronxdale and know that I'm playing the drums. I can do that. I can go to this picture and like I said, to bring it up closer so you can see that that's me. That's not somebody else holding the sticks and playing the drum. That's not somebody else. That's me, Booby, playing the drums. Okay. I know people say, well, Booby, you're fat. You're fat. There are pictures of me where I wasn't fat. I wasn't fat, you know. What can you say? That is me. That's me. And I wasn't fat. you know. I looked at this picture, and sure enough, if you guys can open up that picture, if you look on my feet, you'll see British walkers. You'll see British walkers, and that's my face, that's me, and that's British walkers. Okay? Hey, me and my cousin at the Grand Canyon, I got on a dashiki with the jeans to match the dashiki, and I got on 69ers. Okay, I got on 69ers. 69ers. I have those on right there in this picture. You can see that's my cousin Skip, right next door, right there. So you can see how young I was. I wasn't fat. So I didn't have no gray hair. I even had hair on my head. Okay, and that's what my attire was. And that's it. Like I got a lot more pictures to show, but the reason why I showed this is because I'm not saying how I saw somebody else dress at this point right here. What I'm saying to you is I knew how I dressed, and I know what I heard, and I know what I listened to, and I know what I did. You see what I'm saying? And that's the difference. That I knew that, okay, come outside. you have to be matched. Come outside, you have to be, a certain way. And I know that from a kid. So somebody would say to me, hey, you're too young to have British Walkers on, or you too young to have on Playboys, or too young to have on Bally's, or you too young. But then I have the picture that shows that that's exactly what was going on. And it becomes, nah. And just like this, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go back. But, just like with Dr. Columbus, right? He swore up and down, right, that no, that this is just a op. This is a op. So I got my computer there, and I would, this is just a camera thing, the show off for the camera or whatever, a prop or whatever you want to call it. And so I think it was Akeem that did a whole video on me and showed how Columbus was just trolling and just trying to say things, but then he when instead of admitting that he was wrong, he just went on with it. And so that's where the whole thing is, where the lie is told from someone, and then it just continues to go, and after a while, oh wow, look, okay, now look, okay, look. We got track 2 telling a story about the Beaver battle, and even realizing why Beaver was passing and pausing in the battle. Exactly. Thank you, scoreboard keepers. Thank you. So see that's why I love them geniuses over there, scoreboard keepers. That's why. So now, not realizing that if the music stops, I'm talking about breakdancing now. If the music stops, the real breakdancer cannot continue. Go and look at those crews, TBB, and the one that Crazy Legs was on, Rocksteady, or whatever those crews were. And you listen to the music, right? And you watch their feet and their hands, and know that yes, the music can stop. Or you ever heard, I guess it's not contemporary music, it's classical music, and dun 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 dun. Those dancers could go on the floor, spin on their head, jump up and down, do a flip, turn back around, turn around, all of that. So dun 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 dun. Real break dancers would go like, okay, what are you gonna do? You gonna put a break on, or what are you gonna do? We're gonna just stand around and look at each other. But these whatever you want to call them, will get down on the floor and do these tricks and do these things or whatever, but still call it break dancing. Why? Where is the break that is needed to dance? Somebody explain that to me. Where is the break that is needed to dance to be called breakdancing? But as time goes by, as Wild Style and Beat Street and Crush, all of these movies, my ad, who made them, but if you look at it and say, well, wow, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Now, if you look at it, that's a big difference. So, yes, Ref. Yes, and that's why, like I said, you're genius. You're genius to say, we got track two telling a story about Beaver Battle. And that's it. Okay. And you also got you have videos of people say they're hurt was the creator of hip hop. You have people saying that. And you are now you're gonna say the other things because y'all know who I'm talking about or whatever. I don't want to do none of that. I'm not doing that. But you have a couple of videos now which say that this is what happened before this happened, and this is what happened before that. So you have that, and that's what I was telling them, scoreboard keepers, is that's what I was telling them. Just like you just said that right now, you have that documented. And these are the papers that we need. These are the score that we need. Okay? That's it, brothers. That's it. Okay? Um Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But like I said, I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. I was really, really scared. But like I said, you guys are genius. Yeah. Listen, I don't curse on your guys one, but I'ma say it on mine. You're fucking genius. You're just fucking genius. Okay, Michael Jenkins, what's good, man? You know who it is. Michael Jenkins, aka Wisdomatic. What up, cool DJ Phase, my hip hop creator brother, one of the ones from the first generation that laid down the first. Thank you, brother. Yes, you are in the building. Definitely in the building. And Michael Jenkins, listen, if you don't know, try to get me your number. Try to get me your number so I can build with you. Like I said, the book is coming out, and I need to be able to get in contact with you. So Michael Jenkins, definitely find out to how you can even you can send me a private chat on this. There should be a space where it says private chat, and you can send that to me, your telephone number, so that I can get in contact with you. Okay. Let me see. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. See my. Okay. So hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Now. Wait a minute. Scoreboard keepers. How do I incorporate, send you an invite? How do I do that? Now, let's see. Let's see here. Okay. 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 So now, wait a minute. I'm learning something. I'm learning something. Uh-oh, y'all might got a problem now. Y'all might have a problem now. Okay, y'all might have a problem now. Uh-oh, y'all might have a problem now. Now we getting somewhere. I think I just learned how to do something. Let me go down there and look. Let me go down there and look. Riri, are you there? Riri, are you there? How do I let them get that right there? That link. Okay? Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. Uh-oh. Oh, where did it go? It said add to the link, but then it wasn't there. Okay. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Bong! Ha ha ha! Okay, let me do my little thing here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I see he's there, but I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him? Okay, I don't hear him. Okay, what happened? That's not fair. That's not fair. What happened? Riri, let's get scoreboard in here. Okay, let's get scoreboard in here. And also, Mighty Hebrew. Mighty Hebrew. Okay.
Shout out to
Yeah.
DJ Page.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. Yes, sir. Rebound.
I got a
Yes,
jewel for you.
sir. Rebound.
I got
Listen, Rev.
a
Rev,
jewel for
listen.
you.
Huh?
I have a jewel for you.
Uh-oh. Well, let me do some stuff first. Hold on. Let me just number one thing I got to do is this. Okay, and then I got to do this.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, so let's welcome scoreboard keepers to the building. Everybody, give a shout out right here, right now, to the scoreboard keepers. Ref, what's good? What's going on, Ref?
What's
Hit me.
good, babe? What's good, man? It's a pleasure to be over here on your platform. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, we doing our due diligence because first and foremost, we appreciate everything that you've done. I just a brief mention after how I got here. You know, it was all about JHS 123. Like when I found out what that was, it just blew my mind because my entire lifetime listening to music and everything, I didn't realize that Mario was even having parties there. You know, and you would always hear 123 in the place to be wherever I went. So DJs was even saying that even though they wasn't performing in JHS 123. So I mean that thing traveled. So you know the thing of hip hop, man, we gotta do our due diligence. We gotta do our research. We gotta protect what you guys laid down. We all know you guys created it, and we see that people are trying to take it. So we gotta get the right information out there, man. And we gotta do. Everybody plays a part. Everybody in your chat. The Mighty Hebrew, Royalty, you the Princess, everybody, man, JG, everybody plays a role. If we see something wrong, we got to point it out. So on our channel the other night, we heard people trying to call the legendary Disco King Mario a disco DJ. So what do? We went and did our research. We found out that the word disco Didn't even come out until 1974. So I mean, so if the word didn't come out till 1974, and hip hop didn't come out till 1978. The legendary Disco King Mario was built. You can't even identify him. So how you gonna go name and repackage the product, put him in there, then demote him? It
But
don't even
listen,
make sense.
listen, hold up. Before you even go there any further, let me tell you something, yo. And this is y'all gonna bug out when I say this, right? When you did what you did, I said to myself, yo, Ref has to be pink. Because if he could finagle some that way, and people don't even have a clue of what he is doing, that's a bad man right there. And you did it, and you kept on saying, this is what's so funny about it, right? Because you know I was coming to backstage, I was saying, let me in, let me in, let me in, and you were going, you know, don't just wait, Faze, just wait. And I'm like, I can't wait, I can't wait. And then when I seen the play, I was like, damn, he's a genius. Yo. He is a pure genius. So okay, so now I got some questions for you. I have some
Can
definite
I give you the
questions
jewel? Can I give you the jewel?
because, huh?
Can I give you the jewel first?
Go ahead.
Well, we were talking when I found out that disco information, right? I found out something even a little more amazing that I didn't even tell royalty yet. So she's going to be hearing this first also. Don't you know that they were calling Disco King Mario Disco DJ, right? But 12-inch vinyl didn't even come out until 1976.
I already
Double
said that.
exposure, 10%.
I already said that. I
Yep.
already showed that. You got to look at my earlier videos on Michael Wayne TV or the Culture Since 71. I've been
Mhm.
said that. I've
Yep.
been said that. And, you know, it's so funny. It's so funny that you bring that up because well, like I said in my book, I explain a whole bunch of stuff too as well, and that's one of the things I explain. But one of the things that there's a record that's one of my short shots. I got it on here. I was gonna show the name or whatever, but I'm still not gonna show the name of the record. But in this record, because it's a break that I've been holding for years. I've been holding since 1970. You know that I won't let nobody see or whatever. But
Right.
this one I saved with the name, and I never brought it outside because
Mm.
it was rare back then. And
Right.
so I was looking at the record, and every time somebody says something, I just want to go, but then I think of you. And I be like, yo, hold up, wait a minute, don't do it, don't do it. All right, so okay, so now let me ask you this. Now this doesn't have, well, it does and it doesn't
Mhm.
have to do, and I know this is very political, and you guys know what I'm gonna say, and I get a lot of back whatever, but it's in the same area of just like how we think about hip hop.
Mhm.
Okay, it's still in that same area. So if you don't know, I have a problem with we calling each other black
Mhm.
and calling them white. I have
Right.
a problem. That's why I say pink.
Mhm.
So, my question to you is, where do you think the word black for describing people and white come from? From you. I want to hear this.
Well, that's a very interesting question, and it happens to be right up my wheelhouse. We actually covered this before. If you ever hear me using the word black or white, I'm only using it because most people with larger demographics, that's the only thing they're going to be able to understand what we're talking about. Now, I know that those are colors in a crayon box, and I know you're not black. The background is black on my telephone, but you're not black. A white person is not white. They are colors in a crayon box. But as far as black, it goes back to biblical things. Negro in Spanish, they know exactly what it means. And it goes back to some things that a lot of people haven't chosen to look at because they may find some things that they don't like. So it's easy for a lot of people to rename and repackage things just like hip hop or disco. And when you can rebrand it, it becomes your own. So now they put labels on us that everybody sees us as black or the N word, which is another word I really don't like. I really like to use the word in person or brother or cousin. I love those terms because they're terms of endearment. But with these people repackaging things, it makes sense if I was to play devil's advocate that if they wanted to control something, own something, or steal something, when you repackage it and label it, you become the owner.
Okay. And so I don't know if you finished that.
Yeah, I'm finished, brother. Oh, we lost you, brother.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I don't know, like I said, if you're finished yet, but I just want to jump in right there.
Okay.
So you just talked about once they rebranded, they own it, right?
Right.
So now I totally see why you think hip hop got rebranded. Because once Bam said that, then the council is what I'm trying to get. That was one of the things that I was talking about today. Is the council? Who was the council to say, okay, that's it. That's what we're going to name it. Who was that council?
Well, I believe personally, after doing a little research on all of this, I didn't go into all that, but what I know is this: that even the term hip hop is copyrighted to somebody. I believe it's a Chinese man. I'm not for sure. I'm not certain, but I know that once you copyright that and that word becomes yours, now you can monetize in any kind of way you want to monetize it. You could put it on hats. You could put it on shirts. If you was to go somewhere and you want to hold a hip hop event, you got to be careful. Like I'm even careful even on the internet because, like I said, I know that I don't own that word. So if somebody really want to go up and fight a big machine right now, and let's just say that we're 1,000% correct, right? And we went to these people and we said, look, this is the information we have, and these people are wrong. They stole this. You would eventually have to change the name anyway, because it would be like the .com era when people went and took all of those names. You would have to buy it back or create a new one, which is why I hate it.
So
because
okay,
somebody seen once he seen how big it was getting, a smart person would have went and copyrighted that name so nobody else can use it.
okay, okay. So that's one thing um, that I have to really uh, think about. I have to really think about that. Okay. Next question that I have for you, and thank you for answering that. That's one of the things that I always wanted to for someone else to answer that.
Okay.
When I think of what happened after, say, 75, when I think of what happened after 75,
Mhm.
and I think of, and I'll just be straight up, I think of when the Puerto Ricans came into this whole thing. I want to know your opinion of, do you believe that that was their 50, when they say 50-50, do you believe that that was their part of their contribution?
Absolutely not. I believe that you, the Disco King Mario, Tex D, Dancing Doug, Trixie, and all y'all black states, y'all were like giants. You didn't realize that people were watching. You were doing something so special. Just imagine being in the middle of all of that creativity, and you got to go home to, and this is not a knock, I'm not a racist, I'm not prejudiced, I'm just calling it like I said. Those people were not partying like us. They look at y'all, they can't believe that you're in this poverty, but yet you're so happy. You're being creativity, the creativity that you have within your environment. Your music is bumping. It's not like they down there playing the bongos and they just got to do 1-2 moves or salsa, and they watching y'all backflip pull out cardboard. You walking around in your 59ers. It's like, why would anybody want to be a part of that? So if I'm around you long enough, I can join in. You get comfortable with me being around. So if I come inside of your house, remember, like I was telling you, we found out that the car wasn't even yours outside. That salsa car outside, we found out that y'all don't own that. And now you in my house, right? And you got so comfortable that you've been here long enough, it's like a common law man. So you can't get rid of me now. I've been in your house for so long that I'm a part of it. Because when they saw you, they saw me. Even if we weren't kids.
Right. Correct.
And that bothers me, because this is why I say that this is not a world problem. It's a New York problem, because New York was the first time that they came in contact with soul on a large scale. Some of our most talented foundational Black Americans in the world is in that area, and they saw it firsthand. So they were the first students, and the Caucasians were the first witnesses. They was the first customers, because they would pay to come through. But y'all were teaching them everything, thinking that, hey, everything was kumbaya. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, I never been inside of their household. It was always they would come with us. And then we would find out that they wasn't allowed to really be hanging with us. They would keep it a secret. We wasn't dating their girls. and we damn sure wasn't going inside their house. I've never been to a party in a Puerto Rican's house. I've never seen them move any furniture.
Right.
I never seen a DJ come in there. None of that. The one time that I did go inside of the house, I saw statues, rosary beads,
And
candles.
candles.
Yep. And other than that, our relationship was outside. I didn't see no more until school. So that's just the fact. That's just my experience. Now some was
Now,
cool. I don't have any problems with anybody, but I know that you're not going to have me over for dinner.
right, right. Now, another thing that I really would like to ask someone like you is that, so when you see these trolls, what I can say, and I couldn't call them trolls because a lot of times these people they come in, and when they come in, they're talking about something that they heard about, and they say that it's definite what they're saying is true. So, not that they did the research or anything. What they did is someone just come and told them something, and without doing their own diligence, they just say that that's it. Uh, Particularly, like we have one that we go on all the time about. Why do you think that they're so interested in trying to debunk what was known as the truth? Why do you think that they're so interested in trying to debunk the truth?
Well, one is that they're disappointed in the position that they're in. They're here. They have a lot of pride. They have flags. They fly their flags, but they don't prefer to be on their own island. So when they come here, right, and they see us, everybody and when I'm saying this, I'm going to say immigrants. They all know that we are written in the United States of America's law. Don't ever forget that. We don't get green cards. So when these people come here and they get some type of citizenship, or just like you hear about ICE running around here, this is the only time that blacks have ever had any rest in this country in a long time, because ICE is so focused on other people, and they know that. In the back of their minds, they know that. And this is just the truth. This is not any type of racism. I love all people, but I gotta call it like I see it.
Right.
We have a position in this country, even though we're mistreated. They don't send us anywhere, and they promise us things that we don't take advantage of.
Right.
We know that there's grants there. We know that there's money there, but we don't take advantage of it. People don't even look for it because
Well,
we're just happy go
I
lucky
need to
people.
I need to interject that, and I'm going to tell you a lot of reasons why. Just like you said, that people don't know for it and everything. There's such thing as red tape, and before they freely give something to someone else, they'll give us red tape to go through to give up. That's one thing that I know for a fact. Another thing is this, and I always tell this to all my reparations brothers. I always tell them this. If if we were on a equal playing ground, if we were considered equal, then they would lose everything. They would lose every single thing. And so the farthest that they can keep us from that equal playing ground is what they're going to do. So imagine, look at all the things that we have conquered as a people. We conquered slavery. We conquered drugs. Everything that they threw at us, we basically conquered. And when I say conquered, mean that it might have worked for a little while, but then we came up out of it. It might have slowed us down, but we came up out of it. And hold on, there's somebody else coming. Ref, you still there?
Yes, I need you to hit that link. Let me up
Okay.
on that one. Okay.
Okay.
And so, if can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, now I can hear you clearly. That's a much better one. Yes, this one. So, if we're on the same playing ground as them, then we would be actually above them. So that's why it's easy for them to give to everyone else before they give to us. Because if they do give us, that's like, I know Riri is gonna get on me about this, but it's not that I don't believe that it's happening, that it's working with the
Right.
reparations, but it's that I say to myself, what will, and I say the pink people, what
Hmm.
will the people lose if they give us reparations? And that's the same thing I say with hip hop.
Hmm.
What will the people that say that they did this and say that they did that lose if we give them the truth? You see what I'm saying? So just like, and I always bring up this subject about Christopher Columbus.
Right.
Most people, most people believe the story about how he came here and he did with the Indians, and he talked to them, and everything was kumbaya and everything, and then he put his flag here and said that this is now America. That's
Right.
the belief, and that he discovered America. And that's the belief. But when you look at the story and find out that he didn't even step foot on this land, number one, and even if he did, how could he discover something that people were already here? You see what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
so now you have to say, okay, well, that's something that is taught on and on and on and on and on. And so when the people say, wait a minute, this cannot be true, then all of those things have to be non void.
Right.
And so that's why I say, especially with reparations, that imagine if we were on the same playing field as them and we had a chance to do this. Because I had the wildest debate with someone
Hmm.
about land, because we don't under I don't think we really understand what land is, right?
Hmm.
So if they didn't control the land, then we wouldn't need a fishing license. We would not
Exactly.
need we would not need to tell somebody or explain how many fish that we caught.
Yep.
But they own the land. They control the land.
Hmm.
We can't go in the woods somewhere and just put up a house and say, hey, this is where I live. We can't do that. And then when you look at, when I say look at the places that they own and look at the places that we own. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have stuff because I personally have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of property and stuff.
Hmm.
But I'm just one out of how many?
Right.
And so now imagine if it was half and half. They own this amount and we own this amount.
Hmm.
That would take away from them. And I just don't believe that they're willing in this lifetime to give up half. And that's what that would do if they gave reparations. That would give us a chance to be on the same ball field as them. I say this all the time, and I think about you. It's something to think about. Now, out of all the presidents, right? Out of all of them, look at all the presidents, right? How many can you say of those presidents was us?
None.
And then the fact of is that in those presidencies, right? In those things, we never had a chance. Now we're not talking about biblical times back and whatever, but I'm talking about during these presidents. We never had a chance to own them. We never. There was never no cattle reverse slavery. Do you remember
Nah.
that? Do you know?
Yeah.
Can you study back and do that?
No.
But yet and still, all of those presidents are what brought us to here.
Hmm.
So now we're there, and they just don't. Like I said, I'm in the fight just with them. I'm totally in the fight with them.
Hmm.
But during all of those presidents and all of those the things that happened, all the slavery and everything, those are the same people that is now going to say, okay, you know what, we messed up. Here, take half, take some money back.
Hmm.
And I just don't see that. I mean, I'll fight with them if they tell me, yo, Faze, come with us right there. We going to go take some sticks and stones and we're going to go do this or whatever. I'm down. I'm down. I'm straight up down. But you have to, for me, and this is just me. I'm not talking for anybody else. We have
Right.
to look at the objective of what it is they will be going against if they did give us this. And so that's the same thing with hip hop. Right
Hmm.
now, it's they're in control of it.
Hmm.
Everything that we are doing, everything that is hip hop, everything is whatever, they control it. When just like when they thought it was a East Coast West Coast thing, it was all of that didn't matter because who was getting the prize for that? Who was getting the money for that? Who was getting it? So we killing each other and they getting paid for us killing each other.
Well, let me say this. Well, let me say this. That's interesting that you took us right here to this subject because I'm not going to get mad at a capitalist society. Now they tax us, so even when you think you own something, you really don't own something. You can pay your house off tomorrow, you're still going to pay those taxes.
And if you
So we're
don't
going
pay
to
the
be,
taxes, you're out
they
of there.
take it. That's right. They're going to take it. So you really don't own it. So everything is going to go back to the state, government, whoever. So I'm not really talking about reparations because I know they're never really going to give us that. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I was talking about some grant money that they still be able to tax. If they give us those reparations, they're going to be just paying us what they owe us without taxing it. Now, if they gave us reparations, right? Think about this for a second. This is why you're never going to get it, and I'm not looking for it. Why would they give reparations to the greatest customers that they've ever had? That's like a drug dealer. His best customers, giving them all the dope they want and them never coming back again. See, if they gave us reparations, we're leaving. So why would we leave? Why would they want us to leave when we contribute $1 billion to the economy each year? Just in shopping. The African American community. Now, let me tell you what's so crazy, and that this is something that the Mexicans never got. They never understood this. So if there's any Mexicans out there, y'all might want to listen. The reason that they can never replace us here, you know, there was people that came here and thought that they could replace us. You know, they can never do that because they come here to work, right? And then they send their money back to their country. That's not recycling. So, and then some of them are here illegally. So the United States government knows where every penny is. So if you're not recycling that money here, or you here illegally, you robbing Uncle Sam. And you know he not having it. He'll lock you up first. But he's definitely not going to get rid of the best customers he's ever had. Listen, he knows who got him to where he is. That's why we're written. This is why Tariq Nasheed always talks about foundational Black America. And people don't understand that. When he talks about foundational Black Americans and people don't understand that, it's really mind-boggling until you read in the laws. Because when they say foundational Black Americans, they recognize us as settlers. Like we founded this place. That's how they recognize us, as foundational Black Americans. They ain't giving us nothing, but they recognize us as foundational Black Americans, which means we was here. We built this place up to be a decent place for other nationalities. And it's written like that in the law. As I showed some people like last week sometime. But they're never going to get rid of the best customers that they've ever had. I mean, that would be foolish of them to even try to do it. That's why a boat never came here and said, listen, they would say go back to Africa, but they never gave you a ship and, you know, a visa to go anywhere. As a matter of fact, they're not going to allow you to go anywhere. Now, this goes deeper into what, because I don't know if you understand this, but me and the Mighty Hebrew, we kind of like believe in some of the same things similarly in the way we practice. So it's not a surprise why my people is here right now and they have all of these questions on about what's going on and about their treatment. Prophetically, for me, it was prophesied that we would be here right now and that we would go through these changes, because if we consider ourselves the greatest people, you know, on the face of this earth, which, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that or for my people, but we have done some great things. And it's something that can't be explained. It's like some of the things that our people went through. Our people were slaves and they made it to this point and we're still here. What is it about us that's so special that these people put us in slavery and keep us here, or put us in jails and don't want to get rid of us? What is that? It's a mind-boggling that the people haven't figured this out yet. I understand it because I know that my ancestors are the people that came in contact with the Most High God. I understand that. And I understand that the punishment for our people not doing what they were supposed to be doing is what we're going through right now, which was slavery, being mistreated, being the tail and not the head. I understand that. And a lot of people haven't figured that out yet. And the sooner they do, the better, because there's a lot going on. It's not a mystery why this country is prospering the way it's prospering. It's because we're here. That's why our cotton picking put their economy on the world scale. We're responsible for the dollar being the world dollar of the entire globe. We're responsible. The cotton picking industry did that. That was our people supplying cotton to the entire world, which put the United States of America in the position they are, which is the most powerful country in the world. And they thank us for that. They mistreat us, but they thank us for that. In other words, they're saying, like, this is our good luck charm. We're not going to let these people ever go. So the people that's come here thinking that they can replace us, they're sadly mistaken. They're never going to replace us with another people, because it could be at their downfall. Why would they do that? The same thing is going on now. When you turn on your TV and you look and you see what's going on with them in Iran and for that oil, it's the same kind of scenario. Oil is a big thing right now. It's a huge thing right now. So whoever controls it is going to control the power of the world. But still, that money has to flow through the United States of America, without a doubt. And we can't have it no other way. We can't have it any other way, man. And that's how I look at it. And our people, like I told you, I believe that the reason that this thing came across my lap, which is why I told you, these people don't know who they're dealing with. The true savior even says it all the time. He said they don't realize they're walking amongst giants. So these people attacking our people, mentioning Ray Charles, W.C. Handy, Stevie Wonder, Dizzy Gillespie. I mean, FaZe, these people that's mentioning these greats are crazy. I don't think that they should have access to you, royalty. I don't think they should have access to Trixie or Charlie Rock. I don't think that they should have access to y'all like that freely, because what they do is they come in front of these great people and disrespect them. And I'm talking about people that are that you're their elder. We've seen Charlie Rock get disrespected. I seen Cochla Rock sitting in front of some he was doing an interview in front of this dude, and he was talking to him like he was like they was on the same level. If this was Tito Puente or something like that, and I was talking about him or saying something bad about him, how would they respond to that? However, they would be upset if I was disrespecting their elder. And I'm the same way. Ain't nothing different. Ain't nothing different. They don't deserve to have access and then to be able to call. The first time I heard about you, FaZe, when it was coming down to, well, I already knew who you was, but what I'm saying, I'm talking about this debating thing. The first thing I heard was DJ FaZe is lying. And I'm like, what? A primary. The first thing you do is you say that DJ FaZe is a liar. And that got me. Because I'm like, listen, you're a nobody. I looked at your photos right there with you in the dashiki. I'm looking at you in your dashiki, and I'm thinking about the photo that he put up talking about he was there. And he was sitting up there looking like Shaggy DA. A whole, no cut, no smiling. You know what I'm saying? You was sitting up there, you know, you had your gangster pose on, you know what I'm saying? You looking up clean as the board of health, right? And he's sitting over there looking like a straight up, you know, just whatever, right? It just didn't fit the part. He didn't fit the part. He looked like he was in school, smiling, taking a class or something like that, right? But I just don't think that he should have access or should have had access to royalty. He shouldn't have access to her like that, because what did he do? Everywhere he went, he's disrespected. Disrespected her sister, disrespected you, disrespected Charlie Rock. Everybody got the same story. That at the end of the day, it's always disrespect there, and it's never really this is Timu scholarship. He's a Timu historian. That's why I catch him in all kinds of lies. I catch him in all kinds of lies because he's a Timu historian. Every time you turn around, 1 minute is Africa Bambaataa created hip hop. Next
Well,
minute is
well, well. I have to let me interject for a minute because what I was explaining before is exactly how they even get into the hip hop conversation, and that's how they get in. So by him saying that I'm saying a lie, then you want to know what is he talking about. And so then you go and look and see what he's talking about. So if he did not put that there, you would not even have known who he was. You would not even have known that he, so the way that he had to come out and the way that so that we even know his name is that he had to say that one part. Okay, now I'm looking at a couple of these comments, right? And I want you to you explain, because I know you can't explain what the person means by it, but asking this question, because this person said a couple of comments before. I didn't do it, but asking this question, what would be your answer to this? It's up on the screen. Can you see it?
it says one on the screen says disco and hip hop had a twin birth, right? Phase. That's what I see. Hold on,
How
you're on
how
mute,
would you?
Phase.
Yeah, how would you answer that?
Disco and hip hop had a twin birth, right? Phrase. I would say no. I would say no, they didn't have a twin birth. These are two separate factions going on, two separate things. And disco, you have two words. You have two words that were rebranded, almost in a similar fashion, but they don't mean, or they don't. It went away. They don't mean the same things. Disco was something else before it even was coined disco, and hip hop. We still haven't gotten to the bottom of that. We know that it was named by somebody. It was named by somebody, but we know that he wasn't doing it like the people that was doing it before him. Okay, he wasn't doing it like the people before him. We know that he took it and went somewhere else with it. As a matter of fact, the person that named it actually is electro to me. He's not even really hip hop to me. I consider him an electro type progenitor, I should say. He was inspired by funk, of course, but he went straight to Trans Europe Express. So when he went to Trans Europe Express, I never seen him, as much as he loves dancing, I never seen him dance. But disco and hip hop, totally separate. And what was going on in disco before it got the mainstream, it has a lot of soul in there. It wasn't the dance fever and all of that. And as soon as the money got involved, that's when things changed. And that's the same thing that's going on with this hip hop thing right now. There has to be some money involved somewhere. So,
Okay.
you're on mute.
China Black has a question,
Mhm.
and it's more of a comment than a question. I want you to answer in a sense what this comment is from China Black.
Okay. China Black says that's been my request all this time. Family photo album pics and home movies of them talking before they picked up our lingo. And that's the thing, because they're never going to do that, because those things don't exist. So they know that doesn't exist. So we got to spend our time with them cosplaying the culture and then creating these narratives. So you wind up chasing your tail while they putting all this information out there that really don't exist, because it's like the jab. You just keep sticking it in their face, and then you until they fall asleep, and then you hit them with the knockout shot. So that's never. If you're waiting for that, you'll be waiting until the cows come home. So those photos and all that is never coming. You have to make up your own type of history. You have to say I was there. You got to get people to say you was there, to say you was around. We haven't seen girlfriends. We haven't seen pictures like FaZe just showed. We haven't seen any type of evidence that even qualifies you. As a matter of fact, we don't even know you as a DR. We haven't even seen that. You just have people calling you that. And I see a lot of people doing that. He just came in and said, I'm a DR, and people started calling him that. And I don't ever call him that. I don't ever address him as that. Because at this point now, it's like you're cosplaying everything. So if you're not going to show us the things that make you got other people that are you're saying that are validating you right now, but that's just not it. These people are just saying that, hey, you might have been around. You was around with the babysitter. You went to a jam. Okay, the babysitter took you to a jam. But guess what? So was the guy selling popcorn behind the table. He was at the jam as well. That don't mean he's a part of the culture. Where's your crew? What was you doing? Why was you outside? Why was you looking out the window? Why wasn't you down there with your boys tearing up like we did as kids? Like, where were you at? Where's your girlfriend? Like, who was like? Show us something. If you don't have any of that, what makes you qualified to talk to somebody like DJ FaZe? No, because you want DJ FaZe to believe that you're on his level to some extent, which is crazy to me. Which is crazy. You want everybody to believe that you're on the same level as somebody like Guru or something like that. Like, you don't have the qualifications to be even talking to these people, speaking to these people. You need to make reservations, man. Get permission. Raise your hand. Raise your hand in class. And those are the things that you need to do when you're talking to these people. Like, he couldn't wait to speak to somebody like Royalty because he knew who her father was. And these are people that just not like he wasn't even qualified to be speaking to her. He just wanted to get the information that he needed in order to get to where he is. He's a work in progress. And because you can tell because he's still sloppy. But he couldn't get to where he is without the information that he's acquired up to this point. If nobody would have given him any information, he would have never be doing what he's doing right now. He wouldn't have been doing what he's doing right now. But when you create narratives and you get people to jump out the window and to give you things that you need, he said, okay, I got that. And I remember Royalty telling me this one time too. She was like, all he does is go to people's platforms and learn certain things, and then he goes and he regurgitates it. Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. But what he was doing was he was getting enough information to get to where he is now to be able to say FaZe is a liar. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. There's no way in the world that I can come to FaZe, right? I don't give a damn how much research I do, right? He was there. He was there. So, I mean, only thing I can do is take the information and be responsible with it and go and find what I can find and then put my theories together. But he was right there. He knows the Disco King Mario. I mean, that's crazy to me. So, I mean, like, if you got somebody right here that knows the gentleman that we talking about. So there ain't no remixing nothing. When the primary says it, that's it. Period.
So, because I know I'm gonna hear this, it's gonna be, oh my God. Okay, so, well, I don't know how I would put the part that Riri doesn't agree with on here, but I think the main thing about what Riri is talking about is the part about reparations. I definitely want to bring you on another time so that we can talk about the reparations and the variety of things that we need to talk about socially and everything. But for right now, I'm gonna just keep it hip hop. So let's go back to Mina. And Mina
Right.
says, "You see how hard these people fight to get what is ours. We got to fight hard to keep them out." So, what do you think are some of the steps that we have to do to keep them out of
I,
this?
I thought you would never ask. I thought you would never ask. It is something very, very simple. And I said it on the summit the other day. I said it on the summit right before I even got started. The one thing that we don't do, the one thing that we don't do is unify. It takes unity. And when I say unity, I mean unity and one voice. We ain't all out here saying 10 different things. We all saying the same thing because it's louder. It's louder when we all saying the same thing. It's like coming out of a megaphone. I'm talking about Dewan B. I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed. I'm talking about the cultures in 71. I'm talking about everybody that's out here right now that cares about you and cares about this culture. We all gotta be on the same page. True Savior. I don't have a separate agenda than all of those people. I don't have a separate agenda. My agenda is that I know that this is a foundational Black American creation. The only people that can tell me how it became a foundational Black American creation is the primary sources that was there. I know who the Black Spades are. I know that you're a first division Black Spade. So you're there, ground zero. We got to hear it. I love the fact that you and Charlie Rock was able to come together on my platform. I love that. I love the unity because y'all are stronger together than y'all are separated. I know people would love to have y'all separated. They love y'all to be.
I admit, I saw that. I did see that. And I won't say anything because he's not here to defend himself. So I won't
Thank
say anything. But one thing I need to, I put up on the screen about what Riri was saying. So she
you. Okay.
says that those are not the same people. Most of the pink people who are here now are immigrants. They are not foundational white Americans. Okay, so before you say anything, let me just say a couple of things. Let me just address a couple of things. So one of the things that I say is, especially when you say foundational Black American, is the word black. And just like the council that I was talking about is who decides and says, okay, so we can be called black? Is that council to say that okay, we're this is the word that we're accepting, and we're going to use that word to say foundational Black Americans. So what I come to find out, and which I notice and I've seen, is those people that were actually here before government that were actually here didn't call each other black. They didn't call each other negro. They didn't call each other African American. They didn't call any of that. None of that came into play until the European language came. And once the European language came, then they established that this person was be this person, or this person or be this person. The problem that I have with it now is this. So, black has a definition, white has a definition. The definition for black as sometimes they change it and change it and change it and change it, as long because you remember in the beginning we were forbidden to read. So read their language. So the definition as it started was evil, death, dead, without substance, all the satanic, all the terrible words that you could think of was the definition of the word black. So, not even starting there, look at the definition for white. The definition for white means heavenly, without sin, pure, just all the good things. So, isn't it kind of strange that we're labeled with all the definitions that mean bad, and they're labeled with all the definitions that mean good? And that's not a coincidence, because even if the council says, okay, we're going to switch it around and we're going to give them the definition of black, and they're going to give us the definition of white. No government, the government that came is going to agree with that. So my question to you is that why would they have those definitions for those colors and then give it to us?
Wow, that was beautiful, because it goes right into what Riri Brown was saying. So those when you put those colors together in a crayon box, it's easy for you to now put everybody in their proper section. So when she said that foundational, she said that they're now foundational white Americans, right? All whites, all Caucasians, and all Europeans will call you the N-word. They feel as though that they're all on the same level. So it doesn't matter. We know that Donald Trump has German roots, but he's Caucasian. So he's white. So we're not identifying him by his ethnicity. So we know that there's Irish here. We know that there's Italians here. But we even know that when the Puerto Ricans go to vote, some of them classify themselves as white, not by their ethnicity. So,
okay, so
they believe.
I got to interject. I'm sorry to interject. So now, listen, you said something is very, very key. Now, that's why exactly what you're saying comes with a definition. So those immigrants that you're talking about, they're not going back because of they're coming because the color of their skin is now directed to white. And the color of our skin is now directed to black. So continue.
So as I was saying, if you can identify yourself as white, especially some of these Puerto Ricans, they feel as though they have an advantage. They'll even call you the N-word, even though they're supposed to be just considered a minority. We have Russians, all the same word. This N-word is everywhere. Everybody uses it. And it doesn't go by whether you're foundational or not, because everybody here now is considered ethnically something else. I mean, we have them all, Australians. I mean, everybody is here. You can be from Sweden, Norwegian. The one thing that they all have in common and that they identify with is white and black, which means the absence of light. Okay. They did that for a reason, not the season. Okay. You're absent of light. Okay, it always means dark. You know what I mean? And it's associated with negative things. You know, it's associated with negative things, and that was done by design. That was done by design. So when you're dealing with the colors in a crayon box,
I'm sorry.
right,
I have to interject one more time, just one more time, because I'm glad that you actually said that. So now, who is the council that what you said by design? Who is the council that's allowing that? Who is that council? And that council is not us. So by us using their format, by us using what they're telling us that we have to use, we're still slaves. And we're slaves to that word, black. We're slaves to it because that's something that their council agreed to say that it's okay to it's the right thing to do to get these people under this one umbrella of black. So anybody that is dark skinned is considered black. You can be Puerto Rican dark. If they see you, then they're gonna consider you as black. And so that's why I have a problem when they say FBA, because you're already enslaved with the name, the identification of black. Continue.
very true. So, in saying that, right, the the whole entire color thing to me, and like I said, I know it's by design, but just to tag back onto what you were saying just now, if you and I, if we was purple and we were diabolical, see, it's a difference with our people. We're fair. If you notice, we accept everybody. We always been kumbaya with everybody. That's why we always find ourselves in trouble, because we welcome everybody. We welcome everybody to our community. We're gonna invite you over. We're gonna invite you to the cookout. Let me just put it to you like that. Everybody won't do that with us. But here's the problem. We invite you to the cookout, but we're not diabolical enough, FaZe. You and I, we're not diabolical enough to put our heads together and rebrand this culture, right? And then take it downtown and sell it behind everybody's back. I don't see that in you. And I don't think you see that in me as well, right? So it takes a certain type of individual, right? First of all, you got to be able to steal. So you don't look like a kleptomaniac to me, right? And I'm not a kleptomaniac. I don't like thieves. And in order for you to do that, you got to be a special type individual. So if you and I was to get together and we went downtown and we had something that's going to make somebody $100 million, I guarantee you they're going to put us on. They're going to put us on. They're going to put us on. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to sell everybody else out. In this case, unfortunately, right, it ain't no love loss because they took it downtown, right? And they really don't have no love for us. So if they start collecting money on this, who cares? They don't care about us anyway. They just want their community to prosper while we continue doing what we do, which is in the hood, spending all the money that we got and trying our best to survive. That's what they do.
Okay, brother, listen. Oh my God. I didn't even realize I'm supposed to be, I'm getting the hits and everything. I'm supposed to be doing something totally else. Can we please continue this tomorrow? Please. I'm asking you. You know, I'll come to you
Absolutely.
anytime you ask me, I will come to you and we will be. So can we please continue this tomorrow?
Absolutely.
I have something I have to do right now, and I'm gonna be late and everything. But please let's continue this. I love building with you.
Yeah,
This is needed. What we're doing here is needed. And if we can just connect this to why, and these answers that we're saying now are the answers to why hip hop is in the state that it is in now. These are the
ab-
answers. Okay.
absolutely.
So bless you, bless you, bless you. And in my words, you're a fucking genius. You're a fucking genius. So
Yo, 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 I love you, man.
I love you more, man. And family, we're all gonna be back tomorrow. All right, I will send out the notifications, but he will be back tomorrow, and we're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this thing going. All right. I love you guys. The best. Peace.